If you want to talk about someone who was attacked by a weaponized bureau, you're looking at him. And now he's the director of the FBI and he's cleaning it up. Nope. I think the common theme here is you putting words in my mouth, and I'm not going to tolerate it, nor will the men and women of the FBI. That's wildly inaccurate. Let me tell you what the FBI has done since I got there. 8,276 federal arrests to 820 kilograms seized of fentanyl. That's enough to kill 250,000 people. Over 3,000 firearms seized.
You ever watch a hearing where one side walks in ready to score political points and ends up walking right into a buzzsaw? That's exactly what happened when Senator Patty Murray tried to grill FBI Director Kash Patel. She came in hot, waving papers, shouting about weaponization, and ended up getting fact-checked into oblivion. This was one of the most fiery, hilarious, and brutal hearings I've seen in a while, so stick with me, because Patel didn't just defend himself. He torched her entire argument. And before we dive in, make sure you click that subscribe button, because if you love watching truth dismantle politics, you're in the right place.
You know, the FBI does really crucial work to keep our nation safe, whether it's stopping criminal organizations or domestic terrorists, protects our nation's secrets, it prevents cyber attacks, keeps our children safe from harm, and a lot more. So this is really sober work with extremely high stakes. And I'm concerned that instead of focusing on the incredibly important mandate to keep Americans safe and to help impartially enforce our laws under your leadership, Director Patel, the FBI has been weaponized to go after Americans who disagree with the president. FBI resources have been diverted away from combating terrorism to focusing on immigration requests. And all of this, the diverted missions, the fewer resources, fewer agents, heightened politicization, is happening now under your watch, and it is, I believe, making Americans less safe. Now, let me just start with the budget. As Ranking Member Van Hollen noted earlier, this hearing is being held without the FBI's fiscal year 2025 spend plan and a full budget request for fiscal year 2026. The spend plan is required by law. It was due to Congress over a week ago. We have not yet seen it. That is really absurd. The FBI is our nation's leading law enforcement agency, a budget of $10.7 billion. It is critical that we understand how you are spending taxpayer dollars. So, Director Patel, when should we expect this FY25 spend plan for the FBI? Have you seen it? Have you reviewed it? When will we get it?
I'll get you an answer, ma'am. I don't have a timeline on that.
It was due last week by law.
I understand.
And your answer is you just understand. You're not going to follow the law?
My answer is that I am following the law, and I'm working with my interagency partners to do this and get you the budget that you are required to have.
And you have no timeline?
No.
Well, we also need a full budget request, not a single paragraph full of wild talking points that we saw with the skinny budget proposal. We're now having a budget hearing without a budget request. So, Director Patel, where is the FY 2026 budget request for the FBI?
It's being worked on, ma'am.
Have you reviewed it? Have you approved it?
Not yet.
When will we get it?
As soon as I can get it from my interagency partners and get it approved.
6 months from now?
I don't know, ma'am. I'm not going to make
Well,
up a
how do
timeline.
we as Congress do our budget and our work without that request and without the spend plan?
Well, ma'am, I'm here. I'm
don't
doing the
care.
best I can. I can't make up answers. I'm going to commit to you to work on getting you the information you need.
That is insufficient and deeply disturbing. No response?
I've given my response.
Well, the FBI is already down 1,900 employees since 2023 as a direct result of the Fiscal Responsibility Act. And under the Trump administration, FBI agents, analysts, linguists, cyber experts, and scientists are being asked to do a lot more in order to keep us safe. Director Patel, we all know that budget cuts will reduce the FBI's ability to counter threats of terrorism, and it will hinder its ability to keep pace with firearm background checks and shutter operations that combat violent crime, drugs, gangs, and transnational organized crime. Now, I understand that you told our House colleagues yesterday that you don't want to reduce the FBI workforce, meaning that you disagree with what President Trump is proposing?
No, I agree that we can sustain the mission with the proposed budget, and I agree with the budget. And as I said yesterday, I believe that what I said was I can do more with more. And I gave examples of what more we could do if we were given more.
Well, it's different than what you told the House yesterday. So What are you communicating to the president and the White House about what you need and what? And again, we don't have a budget request from you, so I'm not sure what you're asking us for.
I'm not asking you for anything at this time.
You can operate without a budget?
I never said that.
Well, this is unprecedented. I want to ask one final question here, Mr. Chairman. I want to talk again about how the FBI is focusing its resources. President Trump has turned the Department of Justice into a tool to go after his perceived enemies, and many of the actions we have now seen at the FBI are alarming. The FBI has reassigned and pushed out career FBI agents for political reasons. We have seen fear and intimidation promoted throughout the Bureau, including by polygraphing your own staff. We've seen the arrest of a sitting judge in Wisconsin, and during your confirmation hearing, you committed that there would be no politicization, no retribution at the FBI under your leadership. You've reportedly placed FBI employees responsible for investigation January 6 cases on leave. Is that keeping up your promise of no politicization, no retribution?
It is, because that's wildly inaccurate. Let me tell you what the FBI has done since I got there. 8,276 federal arrests to 820 kilograms seized of fentanyl. That's enough to kill 250,000 people, over 3,000 firearms seized, 350 gang cases, 3,000 cases against violent
Well,
criminals.
that's not my question. We know that you...
Well, you asked if I was weaponizing the FBI, and I am not. I'm giving you the hard, concrete examples of the men and women putting handcuffs on bad people, doing harm to our children and innocent Americans. I do not see weaponization.
You have placed on leave FBI employees responsible for the investigation of January 6th. That sounds political to me.
I have not placed anyone on leave who has not violated their ethical obligation or their oath to the Constitution.
So if they were investigating January 6th, you believe they were violating an ethical obligation?
Nope. I think the common theme here is you putting words in my mouth, and I'm not going to tolerate it, nor will the men and women of the FBI.
Well, you did place on leave an analyst responsible for investigating Russia's meddling in the 2016 election. Is that politicization? Is that retribution?
No, not if she broke the law or the ethical guidelines. I don't know which case you're talking about, but that's the standard. And we will hold ourselves inwardly accountable, and we will not be strayed from our mission because people think we are politicizing the Bureau. If you want to talk about someone who was attacked by a weaponized Bureau, you're looking at him. And now he's the director of the FBI, and he's cleaning it up.
Well, I would just say to everyone who's listening that the FBI needs to be focused on its mission to keep the entire country safe. It should not be weaponized for partisan political gain.
So Patty Murray comes out swinging. She accuses Patel of running a weaponized FBI, ignoring Congress, and, get this, not following the law because the Bureau's budget plan wasn't turned in on time. She even says, "It's absurd, Director Patel. The law required it last week." The room gets quiet. Everyone's waiting to see Patel sweat, but instead of sweating, he smirks. He calmly says, "Ma'am, I am following the law. I'm working with my interagency partners, and I'm not going to make up answers just to make you feel better." You could almost hear the mic drop. Patel doesn't stop there. He fires back with cold, hard numbers. "Since I took over, the FBI has made 8,276 arrests, seized 820 kilograms of fentanyl, enough to kill 250,000 people, and taken over 3,000 firearms off the streets." The crowd perks up. Even some staffers behind Murray look uncomfortable. Patel wasn't talking politics. He was talking results. Meanwhile, Patty's face looked like someone just told her the Wi-Fi went out during a Netflix binge. Now instead of backing off, Murray doubles down. She starts throwing out claims about January 6th, Russia investigations, and so-called political retribution. Patel leans forward and says, "No one has been placed on leave for politics, only for violating ethical or legal obligations." Then Murray tries to twist his words. Patel cuts her off with that now viral line, "You're putting words in my mouth and I won't tolerate it, nor will the men and women of the FBI." The crowd goes silent. Murray's papers shuffle nervously. It was like watching someone bring a plastic spoon to a sword fight. Just when you thought Patel was done, he drops the hammer. He looks her dead in the eye and says, "If you want to talk about someone who was attacked by a weaponized Bureau, you're looking at him, and now I'm cleaning it up." That line stunned the entire room. Patty Murray blinked, probably wishing the floor would open up and swallow her whole. That wasn't just a rebuttal, it was a personal declaration. The man literally turned being the target of a weaponized Bureau into his mission to fix it. At this point, Murray had nowhere to go. She tried another question about politicization and spend plans, but Patel just folded his arms and said, "I've given you my response." You could see the power dynamic flip right there. Patel controlled the room. Murray looked flustered, frustrated, and frankly, finished. The senators behind her looked like they wanted to be anywhere else, maybe even watching C-SPAN 2 reruns instead of this train wreck. By the end, it wasn't even close. Patty Murray came for Kash Patel with accusations, and he sent her home with facts, composure, and a lesson in leadership. This wasn't politics, it was a reality check. The FBI under Patel isn't bowing to pressure, it's cleaning up corruption and fighting crime. And if you think Washington needs more straight shooters like this, hit that subscribe button and join the movement for truth over spin. Because this fight for America's institutions isn't over, it's just getting started. Patel brought the fire. Patty brought the drama. And in the end, only one of them walked out smiling.